All right. Well, one more time for Dr. Abba, man. Let's do some applause. Okay. Now, coming up next is the head of the childhood oncology, or the head of the childhood cancer center at Kolebu. Great woman, man. She doesn't like when I get carried away talking about her, but when you talk to every single patient, they have so much to say about this great woman. And she's coming up right after this, right here, right now. Put your hands together. Welcome, Professor Lorna Rennor. It's forward, then back. You got it. Well, Dr. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
It's so good to have you here,
yes,
man.
It is such an honor for me to be on the great KSM show.
The honor is ours, man. Show some love. The honor is ours. We heard from Dr. Rennor and, Dr. Ave, and some of the things he talked about early signs that if parents will become aware of, can really help to treat cancer. So we have the professor herself here, and she is like really the go-to woman now in Ghana when it comes to child cancer. Prof, first of all, welcome again.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Very much.
And child cancer, the great thing about child cancer, the great thing to know about child cancer is that in most cases it is curable.
You're perfectly right. Childhood cancer, I know it is sad to learn that children do get cancer, but the good thing is that it's amenable to treatment. They are curable, actually. Unlike a lot of adult cancers, which are a bit more difficult to cure. In the developed world, over 80% of children with cancer do get cured and live to be like you and I, achieve their potential in life. Exactly. They are productive, they do whatever needs to be done as a healthy adult. Unfortunately, this case isn't so here, just because most of the cases present quite late. And that's why we have to raise awareness. And sometimes childhood cancer starts in a very subtle way. You know, maybe the child has a fever that's persistent and not going away. You've given antimalarials, you've treated for one thing or the other. Seek a second opinion, because it could be a form of cancer, like blood cancer, leukemia. You might notice a lump. You might think it's a boil or something, any part of the child's body. Very often it's on the jaw. We have pictures of that. I hope you'll be able to see the pictures. And those are the most treatable cancers that one can get, the lymphomas. Some babies are also born and we realize they have cancer. A baby may be born and you'll see a shiny white spot in the back of the eye. And that's a very common cancer in infants. A lot of people think it's nothing much, but if it's detected at that age, there's a 95% chance of long-term cure. 95%? Exactly. We have a little boy who was detected when he was, even in this country, he was 6 years old when it was detected. And unfortunately, he had it in both eyes, but his mom noticed it quite early. And unfortunately, the thing I would say is that sometimes they go to the weighing clinics and some of our health workers are not aware of these symptoms and they send them away. But the mom persisted and came to Kolebu. He lost one eye. But the second eye, we used some special treatment. And he's now 10 years old, attending school normally. If he'd been in some village somewhere, you can imagine, we would have lost him. So eye cancers are quite common. If you see a shiny white spot in your baby's eye, please seek a second opinion. Don't just take it for granted. Or if you see any lumps or bumps anywhere, or any abnormal signs like bleeding, a baby or a child is passing blood in the urine. There are a lot of other causes, but one of the most treatable cancers is kidney cancer in the child.
That causes the bleeding?
That causes the bleeding, yes. If a child complains of persistent headache, I know we adults, the slightest thing, if we're fed up, if we're tired, we keep on complaining of headaches, but it's unusual for a young child to say, I've got a persistent headache.
I see.
So if they keep on complaining of headache, particularly if you notice some other signs, maybe they're a bit unsteady when they're walking, or they're vomiting a lot, seek a second opinion. It could be a form of cancer, a treatable cancer. Yes. And so we hope with this awareness, we'll get people coming with their children earlier, and the children will be able to offer the
Yeah.
chance of cure.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the other issue is we only have 2 treatment centers in the country, Accra and Kumasi. So no matter where you live in the country, you'll have to find your way to one
Accra
of these
or
or
Kumasi.
Kumasi.
Yeah.
So problems of geographical access makes one of the challenges for parents. And I think before the parent, Dr. Ave, left, he talked about a hostel, you know, and so the hostel will be for such people, because sometimes the children might have to stay in Accra for 3 months or longer, sometimes
For
10,
their
11 months for their treatment. It's not every day they have the treatment, and they don't need to be on the ward. They just need to be on the ward maybe the first week or 2, and then afterwards they'll be coming maybe once a week or once every 3 weeks, and they can't go back up north. So we really need a hostel for them, somewhere comfortable for them to stay, so that they don't stop the treatment halfway. So apart from children presenting quite late and the poor access because of only 2 centers, the other issue is the treatment. For some people, it might not be that much to them, but you know, most Ghanaians are sort of living hand to mouth.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's a fact of the matter.
Yeah.
So we don't really have much disposable income to be for other things such as treatment. So let's say to even treat and cure a child with the commonest cancer, you might need only just about 1,200 Ghana cedis, and it's over a 3-month period, and that is total cure. It's unbelievable. But a lot of these families cannot afford even 1,200 cedis to treat their children. So they start, give treatment once, twice, then they stop. We've been
Is that
fortunate
1,200 for the whole treatment?
for the whole treatment of one of the commonest cancers. But on the average, to treat some of the cancers like the eye cancer, the kidney cancer, you might need about 2,500 to 3,000 Ghana cedis, and you would have cured the person of the eye cancer or the kidney cancer. The cancer that's most costly to treat, and that one actually usually affects people of the higher income group, is leukemia. It usually affects children of parents in the higher income group, and that is leukemia. And childhood leukemia is also one of the most treatable diseases.
What are the early
compared to
detection signs of
leukemia? Anemia. If your child hasn't been anemic before, and maybe the past month or 2 has required several blood transfusions, they just have to look at the blood under the microscope, and they will suspect leukemia. Then we will do further tests, taking something called a bone marrow to confirm it. So anemia, that's pallor. The child might be very weak, maybe breathless, might not be active or playing. The child might have some lumps around the neck, what we call the glands. They may become swollen, and that's a sign, could be a sign of leukemia. The tummy might look a bit big because some organs might start getting a bit bigger. That could be a sign of leukemia. So it's made, and also the child might bruise easily. The slightest thing you'll see,
really?
Like a blood spot under the skin. Or when the child brushes the teeth. We shouldn't bleed when we brush the teeth.
They'll be
but
bleeding
because
when they
they'll
brush?
yes, because of a shortage of an important component of the blood, then they start bleeding when they brush their teeth. Or they might have frequent nosebleeds. We know all children have nosebleeds, but if it's a persistent thing, it just takes a small blood sample to be examined under the microscope. And I would say that the fault isn't only from parents alone, but as I mentioned before, even health workers don't have that. But we should have a high suspicion. Because if you don't think children could get it, then it doesn't occur to you, and you might not, you know. So we should have a high index of suspicion and refer them for a second opinion. It's better to be safe, you know, and then we'll say, oh, no, it's just a normal childhood illness. The child will be fine. It's better to be safe.
So basically what you're saying is that they may have all these signs, some of these signs, but it might not be cancer.
It might not be cancer.
But to be on the safer side,
exactly,
get a second opinion.
Exactly, very much so, very much so, very much so. And so helping them with, let's say, the cost of treatment is also very important, because what is worse than starting treatment and then stopping, coming back again, the cancer might have got worse and might be resistant to treatment.
How major of a problem is that? People start the treatment, they go, and they don't come back.
It is a real problem. Without assistance, that support to help them with investigations and the treatment, the cost of treatment, over 50%, that's about half of our patients, do not return.
Really?
Exactly. But we've been fortunate. Some faith-based organizations, churches, and individuals come to our aid very often. You know, even today, someone brought what to them wasn't much, but it will go a long way to help even purchase treatment, you know, for a few cycles for a child, and it will save a life. We know that once we give money to help treat children with cancer, it's not money wasted, it's a life being saved. And a life is, you can't put value on a life. Yes. And unfortunately, some of the children come so late that we can't even start treatment, and we just have to send them home on pain medication. And unfortunately, you know, it's through no fault of theirs. Yes. We actually have some of the pictures showing the signs and symptoms, which we hope will be used to educate you.
Fantastic.
Yes.
So how long have you been at the
Oncology unit? For the past 15 years.
15 years.
Yes, I've been there.
And I know you hate it when I sort of praise you for praise you deserve, but you know, well, for those of you who don't know, maybe you're learning for the first time, I am the ambassador for child cancer. and I'm telling you, talking to patients and how so much they are grateful for whatever assistance you've done, just being there, you know. One patient told me she can call you at 2 a.m. and you pick up, and if she want, she'll flash you and you call back, you know. But that's the kind of person you have been.
Well,
So also let me take this platform to tell the people of Ghana that, you know, we are celebrating a very, very, very great woman here. Show some love for her. You know, because sometimes it's not just that you have cancer and there's a doctor available, but just the love, you know, the expression of care and compassion, that is also part of the healing process. And Dr. Rennor, that's all they all say about you. Every single one of them I've talked to says that about you. So thank you too.
No, because I think any job you're doing, whether you're selling in the market or you're sweeping the garbage, you have to do it with some, you know, joy, some satisfaction. It has to be what you want to do. You know, if you do something you don't like doing, I mean, you shouldn't be doing it. You shouldn't do it at all. Yes. But once you've decided to do something, you have to do your best. You have to work at it, you know, with all your heart and, you know, and so it doesn't matter whether you're in a hospital or you're in the market, give the customer a smile, go the extra way, and it comes back to you, honestly. It comes back to you, honestly. After a day's work, I don't feel exhausted because you get that fulfillment from seeing what you can do to help others. And it doesn't matter whether I'm in the hospital or wherever. I think it should be, we should all do that wherever we are. You know, and Ghana would be, I think, a much better place.
I agree. Show them love for that. But how did you end up? Oncology was the thing for you?
Yes, I think it was. I liked pediatrics.
Okay.
Yes. Children recover so quickly, you know, and yes, and you just can't let a child die, you know, because they haven't, through no fault of theirs, they've got certain illnesses, and you have to do your best, give them the opportunity to contribute something to life and get something out of life. But anyway, I realized there was that need because currently we only have 3 doctors who are trained in the whole country to look after children with cancer.
3?
Yes.
Wow.
So you can see there's the real need. And so that's another thing. We don't have the health workers. We're trying to train our nurses to improve their skills and everything, you know, so that it's not only doctors. who help with healing. The nurses, I think, even play a major role because they are there 24 hours. We just go in and out, you know, hard, but the nurses are there 24 hours. And I think they even do help more with the healing process than we do, you know. So my nurses are also very good. They're very hardworking. So it's a team, actually.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I think when parents are appreciative, I think they're appreciative of the whole team, not
yeah,
the
yeah,
individual.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So I think it's a plus to our team.
Show some love, man. Show some love. And then the hostel, we want to really get people aware that we are working on this hostel and whatever assistance they can give.
Yes.
If you can add your share of...
Yes, as we said, we do need a hostel where parents would feel comfortable, their children will have a child-friendly place, room, space to play. There'll even be a school room for them to have classes because some will stay there for a year or longer. And actually, once we start the hostel too, we are hoping to start some income-generating venture for the parents, like bead making or something of the sort. So we'd also need help with that, so that at least they'll be able to look after themselves. One woman actually said it's so hard for her that she has to go hungry to be able to feed her child, and it shouldn't be so. And most of them would have sold almost everything of theirs, all their property, to be able to try to save the life of their children. And we shouldn't impoverish families just for their child.
Yeah.
I think it's the right of the child, of any child, to be able to access good quality health care, not at the expense or the cost of their family. So we have to do all we can so that families are not impoverished, so that when the child is much better and goes home, the child can go back to school. What if we drain all the family's income and the child is cured? What sort of life do we have left for that? So we need to be able to maintain a good family, their income, everything, in addition to being able to cure these children so that they'll be able to go back to a normal life once they go back home.
Fantastic, man. Put your hands together. And regarding the putting up of a hostel,
Exactly.
the word is out now, folks. Anyone who wants to support. And Dr. Ave was saying it's not just money. If you're a cement company, you want to donate cement.
Cement, yes.
If you can donate tiles,
Yes,
whatever.
exactly.
Where should they send these things? Who should they talk to if they want to donate?
Right. A few places. I would include our childhood ambassador as well in this. KSM the Great. I'm sure most of you know how to contact him. He'll be able to direct you. You can come to the Department of Child Health, Kolebu Teaching Hospital, ask for the pediatric oncology ward or the children's cancer ward, and you'll be directed as to how to make your donations, who to give your donations to. I think the details for the Parents Association is also here, so that will also be put up on the...
Yeah, it's 0244 341 644, and that goes to the parents. There's a line for the parents who have lost children through child cancer, and they'll be able to assist you, okay? And the bank account, EcoBank, they have an account at EcoBank that you can go and put some money in it. Kitwa Biensa, donate. You saw and heard what he said, and the number is 001 008 442 190 4201, and this is the number to help put up a hostel. Prof, thank you so much. Thank you.
The last thing I'll say is that we're still pleading with the National Health Insurance Authority, with the government. Please come to the aid of our children and help relieve them of the burden of the cost by including childhood cancer drugs and childhood cancer under the National Health Insurance Scheme.
Fantastic, fantastic. Fantastic, man. And also, just so you know, we are also putting together a documentary to really let people understand and become aware of the things that are needed to be done. And one of the foundations that is committed to helping us with this documentary has been the Lodina Foundation. So I also want to give thanks to the Lodina Foundation, headed by Lordina Foundation, headed by Lordina Mahama. They have also committed to helping us put this documentary together so that we can put it out on TV and show people and educate the public and everything. But, so thank you to them. And Dr. Thank you so much, Professor. It's glad to have you here. I'm always in your office, so today you have come to my
Yes, it's such a privilege to be here. Thank you so much. Yes.
We are also thankful to have people like you and your team, you know, working so hard for all of us. Show us some love one more time. Stick around. We'll be right back.